Welcome, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
All right, please accept the seat of honor. For the deities. I'll take it in my room. Oh, this is for me?
Jai.
Green and red. Merry Christmas. Christmas. I'm going to give you something. We're going to give you some water. Can someone bring a bottle of water?
Yes, I'll do it.
So I'd like to introduce Patri Prabhu. I already introduced him. I've already given you
I am a special friend. I will introduce you.
your life history's already been displayed. We're already saying the Jaya Radhamana prayers. So he's going to do, he's selfish like that. He's going to do a kirtan
To join you.
Here's a microphone. So you don't have to speak too loud. That's for you. He was very renowned. Sleeps on a bed of nails.
I'm so honored. What I'm supposed to do. I'm just reflecting, and I feel very, very much privileged to be in such an august assembly of wonderful Vaishnavas, especially Prabhupada disciples. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And what we can do, definitely, as they say in Hindi, Suraj ke samne tara chamakte hain. Means near to the sun, even star can shine. So, as Srila Prabhupada used to say, whenever they wanted to glorify him, you're so great, you opened 8 temples you opened, and Srila Prabhupada used to fold his hands and used to say, Baap ka beta sipai ka ghoda kuch nahi to thoda thoda. Means Baap ka beta means son of the father and a horse of the soldier. If there is nothing, something must be there. And whatever I have achieved is nothing but spark of greatness of my Guru Maharaj, A.C. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So this, he was always passing credit to his spiritual father, as he said, Baap ka beta sipai ka ghoda kuch nahi to thoda thoda. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And with your permission, I will chant
Yes,
bhajan Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And we can share a few realizations as I was ordered by senior devotees. Hare Krishna. And as I would like to request you, if you have bed sheet, you can make small prompt, exprompt screen, and I brought my small projector. I will show you, at the end I will show you something. As they say in scriptures, it's explained, Yam Swadubhavakinam Shutisaramekam. Anubhava means experience. We cannot share much knowledge here, of course, but we can share our experience, Swa Anubhava. And that experience, why we are coming together as a spiritual family, as uncles and aunts and brothers and nephews, we're coming here to share our experience, whatever we have, to encourage each other, Buddhayantas parasparam tushyanti saramanti, to experience that highest pleasure and the feeling of Krishna.
Yes.
You see? Because Krishna can manifest. Where Krishna can manifest? Krishna, it's like, I'm always saying we have this antenna, internet. So waves everywhere, but we have to catch those waves by mobile telephone, need device, how to catch those waves. So similarly, Krishna is everywhere. Andhantarastam paramanuchayantarastam govindamadipurusham. He's everywhere actually. But who can catch Krishna? Even greatest yogis, they cannot catch Krishna. Cannot. Pantastu koti satavatsara sambragamyo vayorathavi manaso bhuibungo. Avichintya tattva. It is Lord Brahma, he said Krishna is unachievable even by greatest yogis. But Krishna can come himself. Where? Hari sada vasit tatra yatra bhagavata janaha gayanti bhakti bhavina harir namayva kevalam. Hari sada vasit tatra. Krishna, he actually resides in such a place where people coming together and chanting his holy name. Jatha Bhagavata Jana Gayanti Bhakti Bhavana. When we chant from the heart, actually, and Krishna has to manifest. And to experience his presence only with devotees, So it's my great pleasure to be with all of you. And we can do bhajan Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Because without Chaitanya, he is a very special avatar in this age. Anarpita Charim Charat Karunavatirnam Kalau. In this age, he came and gave us very special gift. Really. And that's why, because of the drop of that gift, we all of us are here. And I brought for you a very special gift to all of you. This is the small card of Srila Prabhupada. I printed just yesterday. And we wrote one poem about Srila Prabhupada, which I will recite you after Kirtan. Thank you. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya kar more Kama bina hai dayalu Jagat samsare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya kar more Kama bina hai dayalu Jagat samsare
Krishna
Patri Prabhu ki jai, Gaur Premanand. Hare Krishna. Where is my bag? Black bag. And do we have? Can you put that sheet over here, just like that, to make it like a screen? Now we have to become very international sadhu, what to do. And I'm always carrying with me some slide projector, and we can share with you in a few minutes something what's happening.
What we'll do, the program will do, because
We have 5 minutes now.
no, the program will do, we'll have you do your program.
Yes.
Now, then, after Prasad, we'll reprise it. Continue.
Okay. But what I'm just trying to say is you can just set up everything, and I'll do it at the end, after prasadam, whatever it is. So I'm just saying we can set it up maybe somewhere in the room.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can speak few things.
Because do you have a thing that you can go on an LED screen?
Everything. We can do that. Yeah,
You can turn around and put it on the screen.
Okay. Super. Isn't it enough? This is enough. Yes. We can do it on TV. Oh yeah, I just didn't make it.
We have a TV.
Yeah, we can do it on TV. Yeah, perfect.
After Prasad.
Okay. So, Prabhuji,
What's in that bag of tricks?
yes, many Christmas, you know, we can just use this.
Patri always brings gifts wherever
Yes.
he goes. I don't know how he carries it all the way from the wall.
I have special gift for you.
He had a special gift for me, which is a book of poems. These are all rhymes.
I heard him speak.
Russian and English he's got. All right, I'm going to hand these out to everybody. Actually, what I'll do is...
Actually, we wrote one poem about Srila Prabhupada, and I'm asking one question. I'm asking one question from everyone, especially in LA. Have you ever drunk the milk of lioness? You can get the milk of lioness here.
Like a lion?
Lion.
You can if you go to the LA Zoo and break into the...
Well, but usually you cannot get it. It is explained that to keep a lioness, she has a milk, by the way, not Pepsi Cola. But she gives the milk to the kids, to the cubs. But the milk of lioness is very strong, like the acid. You cannot keep it in simple vessel, like mud or clay pot. Cannot. You can keep it only in golden pot. It has to be golden. Then, and the milk of lioness usually collected with permission of government for treatment, Ayurvedic treatment, or some like the snake poison. Sometimes also, this Red Cross snake. They're collecting it for some rasayana, for some special medicine. So milk of lion is also very, very sacred, and it can be used only for the medicine. You cannot drink like that. And to collect that milk, you have to have golden vessel, pot. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya's one of the names is Simha Chaitanya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita explained, name of Lord Chaitanya, he has a chest as a Simha, he has a voice like roaring like a lion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his mercy, Namo Mahavada Krishna Prema Pradaya, like Niagara waterfalls, mercy of lion's milk, nectar. So to keep it, we have to keep the heart like gold, otherwise you cannot contain that mercy. So Srila Prabhupada's pot, heart was like pot, golden pot, where he collected all the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then what he did, he went all over the world and sprinkled that mercy everywhere. And in that regard, that was my meditation. And I wrote one small poem which I wanted to share with all of you.
I told you he was a poet.
Bhakti resided in your heart like the nectar in the golden pot. You were very kind and smart to spread the love of God. Through angry ocean had to cross, 2 times got heart attack. So personally, Supreme Lord, your pot had to protect. So even single drop of nectar may never outspill. The ocean calm became still by Lord Shri Krishna's will. By distributing nectar wide, you relieved the earth from the pain. You saved so many fallen souls who were living lives in vain. You helped us, Lord Govinda, meet. To you is our tribute. Let planet Earth embrace your feet and offer you salute. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So that's actually, I love that poem because it actually imbibes the Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada sacrificed everything. And he went all over the world and even reached even Ukraine. And the drop of the mercy dropped even on my head. See, now I am here by his mercy only, and by the mercy of Krishna. And of course, we cannot squeeze all the essence of the Vedic scriptures and my realizations in 5 or 10 minutes, whatever left. But I definitely, again, I can boil it toward 4 stanzas which I wrote also. I can capsulate, it's in capsule. In human life, we have a gift, an opulence and treasure. The true devotees of the Lord who want to give Him pleasure. Keep Guru's order in the heart. Example His behold. To whom you meet, give Krishna's feet 2 lotuses to hold. Don't worry profit or the loss. Surrender life to Supreme Boss, and far and wide try spread His fame by chanting sweet and holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Beautiful.
And to spread the holy name, that's our manifestation of love. And love means not just looking and saying something to each other, like even in material world, somebody comes and I love you, and then another partner says, I love you too. I love you very, very, very much. I love you very, very, very. Hey, come on, do something. Give me some flower, take me to some ice cream shop, whatever, something. No, I just love you. I love you. So, to love means to do something. To love means to do something. It's nice to have the head among the clouds. We have to keep our legs on the ground. And there's plenty things to do. Now we came from Harinam, and I love it, I tell you. And I wish all of you would be with us. Seriously. It was such a parade, and it was like literally hundreds of thousands of people. And we were, isn't it? And how they love us.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
They love us. Wow, Hare Krishna. I never saw they clapping like that to all the people. They never clapped to them. But when we came in the street, wow, they were jumping in the street, dancing with us. I was thinking, wow, I love to have 50 devotees at least, and these flags and banners and just whatnot. It will become like Hare Krishna explosion, guaranteed. And all those horses, all those cars. And I was so, in front of us was just kind of orchestra, boom, 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 boom. And behind us was orchestra. And we had to stand in between. Isn't it? And then we started to do kirtan, and this guy is just standing and waiting for something. I told him, why are you standing? Just join us. Boom, boom. And somehow or other, they were standing, and I saw the legs are dancing, but they in charge not allowing them. I said, just forget it. Just do it. And I saw a few boys, they took saxophone. They joining us. And some guys with drums. Boom, 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 boom. Because it's so Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam. Ananda Ambudi is ocean of happiness to do something. Really. And all of us, we like orchestra. Another thing I'll share with you, last one, because I know the time is, this greatest resource in our life is the time. As a Chanakya Pandit said, Ayushakshano ekopi na labhyat sona kotidhi. 1 second of time you cannot buy by hundreds and thousands of golden coins. One time gone. You can never bring it back. So that's why we are so grateful to all of you. You came, and can you imagine somebody comes to you and gives you half an hour of his time? It means he gives you half an hour of his life. Just like that. Take my life for you, half an hour. And how much opulence we are getting by getting association of senior devotees. They just like that. You see? Like all of you, you came and give time to each other. That's greatest opulence. We're exchanging. This is a market exchange. Exchange market, no? This is an exchange market. But in Nityananda Mahaprabhu's Namahata place, marketplace, what is the exchange? What is the currency? Shraddha. 100 Shraddhas, 50 Shraddhas, 20 Shraddhas, 10 Shraddhas. And Shraddha Anusari Bhakti Adhikari. What we do here actually by coming to, we're exchanging our love and faith in Krishna. Yesterday we were sitting with Japa Prabhu, and he was saying when the KGB time, how they were in jail, how they were put some drugs and tortured and whatnot, how many things, wow, far out. My criteria, what's called thermometer of faith, immediately raised by hearing the story. How all devotees, they are so wonderful, they have so many realizations. And recently, if I'll find it, we had a meeting in United Nations. I was invited. I'm a member of United Nations, URI, United Religious Initiatives. And what happened, all the top leaders of the world, Catholic, Christians, Jewish and whatnot, Muslim people and rabbis, all religious, nearly 47 or 50 people were there. Top from Vatican, from everybody. Somehow we end up there, they invited us also. So we were sitting there, and it was meeting. They gave me the topic to speak about the young generation of the world. What will be the future destination? How to inspire young generation, despite of religion and just like that, spiritually, how to inspire young generation. So I spoke about the gap between the old generation and young generation. And I told the Sufi's tale. There is one tale, Sufis, So one man was standing in the city square, and a big crowd was surrounding him. And he was standing in kind of chair, and he was showing to everyone big heart. Just now from showroom, shining, golden, spotless heart. And he said, my heart is the best heart in the world. No one has better heart than me. And he was proud of his heart. And it was shining, indeed, it was like super. And all of a sudden, while he was glorifying his heart, from the crowd, very, very old voice came. No, my heart better than yours. So everybody looked there, and they saw a very old man showing his heart. And his heart was full of holes, scars, hanging like this. It was so dirty and worn out heart. So they said, come on, how your heart can be more beautiful than his? So this old man said, yes, it's more beautiful. Because see this hole? This is a hole because I give my heart to somebody, but he never returned it back to me. That's why this hole remains. And this is scar, you see the scar? That's, I give people so much kind words and service, but they shouted with bad words to me. And they offended me so many times. We in Nityananda Sampradaya, Prabhupada says, there's so many jagai in mathais. You give them flour, they will throw the stone to you. Do it anyway, as Mother Teresa said. Construct and do everything good to others anyway, because at the end of the day, it's never between you and them, it's between you and God anyway. So therefore, I gave them so much service, but they offended me and make scar on my heart. And this is the whole also, I give so much heart to others, they never return back. Therefore my heart is better than yours. And while hearing those words, that young boy with his beautiful showroom heart, tears rolling from his cheeks, he understood everything. What is real beauty? He took his spotless golden heart, plug it from his heart, and fill up the hole of that old man with his own heart. And everybody saw how old man and young man embracing together went toward the rising sun horizon. End of the tale. This is a Sufi's tale. What can connect one generation with another generation? That sacrifice. And therefore Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam, he explains 6th canto, 10th chapter, text number 6. 6, 10, 6, very easy to remember, homework for everyone, you can read. Prabhupada said that modern civilization going to hell. Therefore this Krishna consciousness movement requires many exalted in knowledge men and women who can sacrifice their lives, not just come for Sunday program, sacrifice their lives to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore we are inviting so many men and women exalted, enlightened in knowledge to sacrifice their lives. I was struck with wonder how Prabhupada in such a short paragraph he mentioned 2 times sacrifice. And his life was a lecture. His life was a lecture. And therefore in that United Nations meeting, when we discussed, I addressed that topic, but then I said at the end, every one of you present here, please kindly mention one word, just one word. What is your expectations from this program? What is your expectation? We are not here just, hi. We are not just modern society here. We are Vaishnavas here, uncles, brothers. We are army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you know what? We always calling, and I am comparing this with a formation of gladiators, spiritual warriors, those who have shield and swords. Chandanti Shastrani, with a sword of knowledge. We're cutting this Maya. Duratteya, Mama Maya Duratteya. Very tough, very condensed. Such places like Los Angeles and New York and Moscow. I just came from Moscow. As I say in Hindi, katam.com, www.com, work.com, and then worry.com, and then whip.com. Just look, people running, Prabhupada said in Los Angeles only. Dog running on 4 legs and man running on 4 wheels. What's the big deal? Just continuous. And as I was mentioning already in one of the classes in LA temple. So, one businessman from Hong Kong, he told me, Guruji, you know, this very rich man, Diamond King in Chimsasui Kowloon, this is big, he invited me. And he told me, you know what? This life is like rat race. Everybody running. Where to run? Why they running? Rat race. And he told me, this life is like rat race. And even you will win this rat race. At the end of the race, you're still the rat. Nothing better. Information, no transformation, nothing happened. I asked one guy in New York, he was running, where are you going so fast, so early? He said, I'm going to the office. What office? We are producing car tires, tires for the car. I said, why do we need this tire? For the car. And why do we need the car? To go to the office. And why do we need the office? To produce the tire. And why do we need the tire? For the car. And why do we need the car? Go to the office. You cannot live in this place without the car. I would not be able to come here if Mayuri Radhika would not bring me here by car. We need the car and go to the office and to produce a tire and to produce a car and then go to the office and then, is it not rat race? And very much we don't have time, very often we don't have time to be with each other like this. And that's why I'm so grateful. And in that URI program, to conclude with today, I wrote one point, and everybody, one second. Everybody, wrote one word, and they sent me one word. Everybody mentioned one word. What is your expectations from this program? I told everyone, all these big leaders, super pooper leaders. I said, what is your expectation? And everybody said, happiness, love. I know one priest from here, from LA, Mr. Swift, he said, he's very nice. He said, Amen. I said, very nice. Other things, And then everybody were telling these words. But then I said, let us make a poem out of all these words, whatever you send me. I want you to write one poem. And you know what? We wrote one poem, spiritual poem. In 1 hour, it was competition. All the leaders, we were running poem, just by using only these words. I'm just too spontaneous now. I'm just trying to find out, because I'm shooting from the hip. Something, whatever comes to my mind, I'm just downloading. So whatever comes. But I found this very, very important. And out of these words, I wrote one poem. It's called Divine Orchestra. Divine Orchestra. Because we are so different. We are so different. Everybody playing there, somebody playing accordion, somebody playing boom, 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 wonderful drum, somebody playing karata, somebody playing whatever. But we are so different. But we have to play together as an orchestra. And in orchestra, there must be some director of orchestra. As I'm always saying, if you can never become the director of orchestra unless you have a guts to show you back to the public. You can never become conductor of orchestra unless you have a guts to show you back to the public. Because usually he's the only one who shows the back to the public. So we are not swimming here, and as His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he says that the current of this life, material life, takes us toward the river of life, taking us toward the ocean of birth and death. And if you really want to fight against this current, you have to learn how to swim against the current, against the general public. You see? And therefore, I told you that only warriors, when coming together, the shield and sword, they putting the shield and sword together. Shield means Shraddha, holy name, intelligence, enthusiasm, love, and discipline. That's what constitutes the shield. And sword means Shraddha, Shastra, scripture, holy, willpower, sword, scripture, willpower, optimism, relationships, and dust from lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Padarajo Vishekam Niskinchananam Navrinita Yavat. Padaraja. Lotus, without Padaracharana Seva Bhakta Sanivas. So therefore, I'll conclude this with the poem, which is called Divine Orchestra. And I believe I'll find it now in 30 seconds. And by the way, I can take this opportunity and ask you one word. Can you speak just one word? What you're expecting from this program today? Just one word. How do you feel at the moment?
Inspired.
Inspired?
Expired.
Expired or inspired? Inspired. Yeah. We always have to be inspired before we expired. We always have to remain inspired before we expire. So, and then, please can you? Relieved. Wonderful.
Blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Go ahead, just a little bit, just spontaneously, don't worry. Appreciate you. I got it. Yes. Blissful. Well, don't shy, open your heart. Mind is like parachute, working when it's open. Just don't worry, seriously. There is no CNN, BBC. So yeah.
Blessed.
Blessed, wonderful. Seriously.
Learning. I came to learn something.
Learning. Okay. Just one word. Just one word. How do you feel? Describe your heart at the moment.
Association.
Association. satisfied, santushti param sukhi,
Blissful.
blissful. But the word should not be repeated.
Connected.
Connected. Prabhuji, what do you feel?
Love.
Wonderful.
Bhakti.
Bhakti. Prabhuji.
Simplified.
Simplified.
Transformation.
Very good. Few more. Huh? Life. Life. That's it. Uplifting. So here it is, and I found one poetry which we wrote. It was just very spontaneously, because nowadays you have to be fast. If you want to go far, you have to go. If you want to go fast, you have to go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go together. So this is the poem, and I'll conclude with this poem. Global orchestra to play the music of divine love. It's not only us, it's global. All the leaders of the world, and we are here talking about the head leaders of all religious organizations. We are all so different and beautiful indeed. Together we can grow high with the spiritual speed. Like the divine orchestra, we can produce the song which will make all the world united, harmonious and strong. The spiritual symphony descending from above, with hearts united in hope and peace, to bring this divine love. In our song, we will use the words smile, unity and joy, cooperation, love and harmony, the darkness to destroy. Rejuvenating family, together we create, to give the solace to the world before it's too much late. Create the symphony divine with love as a holy queen. Share your happiness with mine, so be it, and Amen. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So, maybe we'll take a couple questions.
Who am I to answer? But in any case.
Duked upon how many minutes before you're ready to serve out? 7 minutes, okay. So we take questions. Anybody who has a question, then Patri Prabhu can attempt to answer your question. Who has a question? Questions are really interesting. Any question about your life, the world, existence, religious traditions, children. Yes. What's your name?
How many ISKCON temples are in Moscow right now?
At the moment,
Yes.
would you like to hear the physical answer or transcendental answer?
We'll start with the physical.
All right. So far I know around 5.
5?
We have in Ural our Brahmachari ashram, where Brahmachari Sankirtan devotees, they Brahmacharis only, they're distributing books. We have very nice Ananta Krishna Maharaj, my very, very close friend. They have farm community, one nice center. We have Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj followers also. Another big temple. We have main temple. I don't know, it's a little bit in the center. They have Govinda's restaurant, huge one, beautiful temple, main temple there. And there's so many devotees there, you won't believe. And every devotee is a temple itself, walking temple. They're like really, and many small Namahatas. I have Angira Gauranga Prabhu. He has nearly how many? Maybe 500 Namahatas, 500 like these houses. This is a temple, actually. It is temple. So we have hundreds and hundreds of temples in Moscow, actually. Main temple, of course, is there. Main 4, 5. But then hundreds and hundreds small temples like this. Hare Krishna.
So that's part of the prophecy being fulfilled that in every town you go, eventually there'll be Krishna consciousness.
Yes, it is going on. And so far, just to encourage all of you, I am just your servant here, honestly. For the last 30 years, I am traveling all over the world, and let me not to tell you where I have not been. Perhaps I have been everywhere. And whatever we have seen in 30 years traveling in nook and corner, we can share with you in 30 minutes. So those who especially came for the first time or just maybe a little bit new to this movement, so don't hesitate, because in very few minutes we'll be out from here. We never know. Now situation is such, coronavirus blocked all world, paralyzed all world for next 2 years. I mean for previous few years. We never know. And in Hindi it said, there is one saying in Hindi, जो कल करे तो आज, जो आज करे तो अब, पल में प्रलय होगी, बहुरी करोगे कब. Means whatever, you understand, Mataji? So whatever you do tomorrow, you do today. Whatever you're supposed to do today, do it immediately. Because pal mein pralaya hogi. Because you can die in 1 second. Pal means blinking of the eye. If you die right now, what are you going to do next? It will be no chance for you to ask questions. Therefore, we are here just to ask questions. And I do have questions from all of you, but I'll not take chance. Now, during taking prasadam, we'll ask questions from some of you.
We have a little more time.
Yes, yes. All right.
Okay. Was that satisfying?
Yes, very satisfying.
What about the transcendental aspect then?
Yes, Prabhu.
I'd like to know some of the bigger challenges that you face going around the world trying to teach Krishna consciousness.
Question was, what were the biggest challenges in Krishna consciousness while I was preaching all over the world? I'll tell you. In 1996, I happened to be I was commander trained army officer before. And somehow or other I never knew that I'm going to end up in the transcendental army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Basically uniform changed, but nothing, just the same discipline, and I have machine gun with 108 bullets. So, but, right. And it happened, I was distributing books in Russia for 6 years, and then I decided to go deep and I wanted to go to Mayapur. When I went to Mayapur, I really begged Bhaktivedanta Maharaj to be in his Gurukul. And somehow or other he accepted us, and we stayed there for a few years. And I happened to stay with Patri Prabhu, the head pujari, and he was my mentor. And the only thing I didn't have one just small piece of thread like this. I didn't have that time. So and I was doing some DT backup for the Madhava in Mayapur, missing a day of cleaning. But I was longing to go to the altar, and he said, no problem, we can make a pujari. But you need one small thread, just like this. Get second initiation. So I thought, that's not a problem. I can ask Guru Maharaj. He knows me pretty much very well. And that was GBC meeting just upcoming, before Gaura Purnima. So, and secretary, he said, who would like to go to Calcutta to receive spiritual master? And I was thinking, that's my chance. Me. Can I go? Because I knew during the meeting in Mayapur, hundreds of people will be, hardly I'll be able to approach and talk from heart to heart. And on the way from Calcutta to Mayapur, we'll have 3 hours, and in the car I'll ask him personally for just a piece of thread. Alright, and when we're coming back, and you know there's free massage road from Calcutta to Mayapur. And so it was very noisy. I could not hardly to speak to him. But then it was like train, and it was like closing. What do you call it? Slugbound, you call it. So cars had to stay there for 5-10 minutes. So this is my chance. I could not lose it. So I asked him, Guru Maharaj, excuse me, can I get second initiation this Gaura Purnima? And he didn't even look at me, just like that. Then I was thinking, maybe he doesn't hear what. Can I get second initiation? Excuse me. We were sitting just like this, together. And he didn't look at me even. 3-4 times I asked him. He never even looked at me. And then the car already started. I was like, he doesn't want to tell me anything. And then after 10 minutes maybe, he looked at my eyes, like as Guru Govinda Maharaj says, eye to eye union. He just looked at me like this. And he told me straight away, are you ready now to do what I'm going to tell you? So my mind was like, I was thinking, my God, it was the biggest challenge to me. Now, what he's going to say? And since I was trained as an army officer, I said, yes, sir, whatever you say. I said, now, after a few days, go to Bangladesh preaching. Oh no, I was supposed to be pujari in Mayapur, right? I was supposed to be in Gurukula Bhakti. All this yagyas, puja, mantra, tantra. I went, no, Bangladesh. Just like that. But all my card house, scrambled. Oh no, how come? I said, Guru, but I don't know Bengali. How to preach? You go there and we will speak with you in Bengali there. No Russian, no English. We will speak with you in Bengali language there. Oh no, Bengali. But I am studying Bhakti Shastri now. You can finish this on the correspondence course there. You go there. So what to do? And then Patri Prabhu gave me Mahaprasad from Radha Madhava. Okay, go, what to do? Since that time, I didn't come for 11 years to Mayapur. Then he sent me to Allahabad, and then from Allahabad he sent me to Nepal, and till date I'm still moving around. But the biggest challenge for me was to accept that, yes sir, to sacrifice, to step on the throat of my own song, and just to step and say, yes Guru Maharaj, I have to let your will be, not mine. Right? So that was the biggest challenge for me. But I overstepped that line, that threshold. And somehow I stepped. And I'm so grateful to Krishna that he gave me brain to do that. Because I could have been saying so many reasons. But if so, I'm so fallen, please, so but somehow I'm. And amazingly enough, when I came to Bangladesh, and after 1 month, amazingly enough, I was giving in National University in Dhaka, Jagannath Hall University, I was giving lecture in Bengali already. I was giving Bhagavad Gita lecture in Bengali after 1 month. So Mukham Karoti Vachalam Phalgum Langyati. That's kind of my realization. And of course in India, same thing, he said, go to Allahabad. Alright. And then after a few months he spoke Hindi also there. So this is actually the greatest challenge for me was. But I braced myself, I will do. And I just do that. Hare.
Another question? We have time for another question. Krishna? Anyone? About their life, about anything at all. Material, spiritual, doesn't matter. Mars will give a
Did you have a
spiritual
choice?
twist to it.
Huh?
Did you have a choice not to go?
Yeah.
Do we have a choice in life?
Sure I had. No, sure I had. Choice given to everyone. All of us, they have choice. True.
Who's your guru?
Srila Prabhu.
Questions, anybody? Questions are really healthy. Do you have a question in your mind? Yes.
Probably many faiths are out there, and they say their faith is the only way. And then we also say our faith is, the right way. So many times I go on book transmission, and it's so challenging because you come across somebody who's Muslim, and it's like they're so determined that this is the only way. So there's no hope for preaching to them. It's very difficult. So how do we embrace like all different faiths and try to give prashadam? Many of them just, this is my way, Christians do it. So just sometimes very puzzled like what do we do?
Actually, my answer would be like this. Compassion. We have to learn the language of compassion. But compassion can be manifested in different ways. Depends on our consciousness, because our consciousness is Atmavan Manyate Jagat. We can see the world not as it is, but as we are. In Nepal, there is one national song. Fulia akame fulia sansar kataka akame kataka sansar. Means, in the eyes of flower, all world is flowery. But in the eyes of thorn, all world is thorny. Like that. So, that language of love can be differently applied to different people, and depends on the level of the devotee also. In 11th canto Bhagavatam, Krishna explains to Uddhava what is that? Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama. And Madhyama Adhikari, he knows 4 things. How to see the juniors, how to deal with equals, how to serve seniors, and how to avoid envious. Folly to be wise where ignorance is bliss. There is no point of sowing the seed on the pitch road. So for this kind of people, their kindness can give you prasadam and to make them with good impression. Really. Bye, super. And when they're leaving with good impression, I'm still distributing books somehow. And I have to deal with hundreds and thousands of people. And just now, day before yesterday, I jumped in the taxi because I had to go to a program. And in that taxi was a Bengali song. So, and this guy taxi immediately switched off. But I caught few lines. And he was kind of, I said, oh, you are Bengali. No, I'm black man. Alright, so black man is okay. Because in California they respect it now. Very much, and always we are respecting different skinned people. That's alright. But he wanted to pose himself as, I'm black man. But then in between I spoke few lines in Bengali. যদি ভগবানের কৃপা হবে তাহলে সব কিছু হতে পারে আপনি বুঝতে পারলেন তো বেঙ্গলি বুঝতে পারবেন তো he was literally shocked like Jagannath. I just shooting from the hip because I caught the Bengali song and I put things together. I said it must be Bengali guy and I just shoot it and he apni bangla jane pastor aur bhalo. Then we started to the rest of the journey for 10 minutes. We spoke in Bengali. And he was so, let's love each other, let's be good to each other. Ram bhalo, ami bhalobashi, bhalo. But then I said, oh, what kind of, and in the light of that event when few brahmacharis and devotees were murdered in Dhaka, perhaps, right, recently. I said, well, listen, we have to love, but it should not be lips deep only. It has to be based on the real knowledge. If you're not standing for something, you fall down for nothing. Right? And I spoke about meat eating. In Russian language we have one nice poetry, Leo Tolstoy, War and Peace. He said, we're praying to God, give us peace, but on our lips, blood of dead animals. Мы молим Бога озарить нам путь, даруй нам мир, о всеблагой Господь, но на губах у нас убитых животных мертвых плоть. Means we have dead animals' blood on our lips and we're speaking, love, very nice, let's be good. So I said, what about meat? Do you eat meat? Of course I am eating meat. He told me. How much should you? I said, oh, why? What is the mercy? What is the love? And then I understand this guy. And then I became to say, he's Muslim. You don't understand anything. His love turned into hatred, anger. Hey, cool down. I said, why are you killing animals? I love chicken. And his love evaporated immediately. He became so angry. Don't teach me, boy. You don't know anything. Read Quran. He said, oh, like that, huh? Cool down. And he's younger than me, by the way. Somehow. I figure out. Right? I didn't start to impose myself, but I said, okay, fine, thank you. There is 3 main obstacles in life to get spiritual knowledge. 3. The biggest 3 obstacles. I know that. That's it. And once you start to see the people like this, there's no point of giving them our kindness to them to avoid them, that's it. And then at the end we came, all right, boy, read Quran, okay? Shake my hand. I said, thank you. You don't want to shake my hand? But thank you. Just like that. Just avoid them. That's our kindness. Not to give them chance to criticize whatever little Vaishnavas we have. Srila Prabhupada was walking in morning walk and all sannyasis and his disciples, they were saying left and right, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And here was one man with a dog running. And Prabhupada told him, good morning. And that man said, oh, good morning. And some disciples said, Prabhupada, you should have been told him, Hare Krishna. I said, no, you have to tell him good morning. because he can relate to that. And by relating to that, he will feel good disposition. He will feel good about devotees. He can relate and send positive vibes to the devotees. And by doing that, he'll get punya, agyata sukriti. And by getting that punya drop by drop, jananam punya karmanam tidvanto mohanir mukta. One day, he'll get mercy of Krishna. But if I'll provocate him to act aggressively against me, he'll go to hell by offending Vaishnava. So therefore, our kindness and mercy will be to them, to give them chance. Like today we had parade. Funny, jazzing, and everybody. They may be Christians or whatever they may be, but they were appreciating devotees. And by doing that itself, they getting attention of Krishna. So our kindness to different people should be different. And to some people, to punch them in the face, that's mercy. Like Arjuna, that was his humility. Because humility means to follow the order of spiritual master. That's mercy. Because sometimes humility taken as a weakness. Humility doesn't mean only we have to be like this. No, sometimes, but you have to be mature enough. And today listen to the class of Bhagavatam I gave in Srimad Bhagavatam in the temple. So we spoke about Nrsimhadev. We had a tech. I do have a belt in the martial arts. I never used that art. But sometimes you have to use it to protect devotees. That's also mercy to them. So the discrimination power depends on our consciousness and maturity. How to apply this. To somebody we have to give flower, and to somebody. But main thing we have to hear the main supreme conductor of orchestra. You know, in the beginning, before we play some symphony, you know this, it's called cacophony in Russian, cacophony we call it. So everybody allowed for 5 minutes to tune their instruments. No, it's allowed. Okay, everybody tune La minor. And then everybody, you cannot play whatever you want. Just keep quiet. Now we have to play it together. We have to be on the same page. So similarly, you can be Kanishta for a while, but at one point you have to become Madhyama. You have to become serious. You have to take responsibility. Responsibility. You have to be able to respond for what Prabhupada wanted from all of us. As a team. Together everyone achieves more. So we have to be as a team, as a transcendental orchestra, and play for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. We have to grow. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Did you get that last one? T-E-A-M? He just rattles these off so fast. Together everyone achieves more. T-E-A-M.
And then everything will be nice. Needs, interest, concern, and expectations. If you really want to make things nice, we have to understand each other's needs, interest, concern, and expectations. That's why I ask you, what are you expecting? One word.
Would you like to lead us in the prayer starter of Vijaya?
No, please do. I will request.
That's a question, really quick. About the accordion. Is that common to play the accordion instead of the harmonium?
Well, it's
For
not
kirtan?
many things, very common things, pretty much uncommon nowadays. But this is not common. Not everybody playing somehow.
It's very
Accordion
nice.
is a little bit antique already.
I really like it.
And when we're traveling everywhere, he's traveling nearly 15 years with me already. Anywhere in airport, and somehow I am very, as I say, satsanga. Jai satsang Vaisaram. Man known by his association. I'm associating with Mahavishnu Maharaj, transcendental coward boy. There's a cap and a hat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, believe me, well, somebody likes, somebody doesn't like, but I tell you, it's such an icebreaker. And I know, in my heart of hearts, he is Prabhupada man. If you, in any program, or I'm working with him nearly 15, 20 years old, any program, first thing, where is Prabhupada? Where is Prabhupada? Oh, okay, that's okay. No Prabhupada. Cancel festival. Where is Prabhupada? So, and he always speaks, Shastra. But sometimes you're traveling in the airport. One incident was me, in accordion. He comes and he always, and he requested our brahmacharis, I have some engineers, to make him some Wi-Fi sound system inside. And he has, in mobile, he has Wi-Fi switch. And he goes to the crowd where he's just receiving, checking luggage, going inside. So many people there, Americans and so many foreigners. He goes inside the crowd and switch off the telephone. And his cap start to light. And his reincarnation here, like this. And Bhagavad Gita is there on all languages. And Mahamantra is there. Everything, all spiritual world actually. And then, and this accordion was cow bells and he goes inside. So people are like, what is going on here? and that's not end of the show. He goes inside and then a mobile telephone. And then, Krishna Balaram bell, Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan. Bam, 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 bell, bam, bam. And then Prabhupada's voice comes. You are not this body. And the light going. Therefore chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a cry baby crying for the mother. And the special Prabhupada's speech about Mahamantra. So far out. Wow. You are not this body. Wow. And all people, they have to be transcendentally changed. Oh God. And then he starts kirtan. Don't worry profit or the loss. Surrender life to Supreme Boss, and far and wide try spread his fame by chanting sweet and holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna Madaya Moy, Puri Puri Jivata, Swakasana Tilabai, Senamita Pao, Radha Krishna Tilagao, Vindakoti Tanivai, Jai Mai
Thank you very much. And we've got Mahaprasad from somewhere.
From the
temple. So please, it's a buffet. Take your plates, take your places. And we're really fortunate to get a chance to talk with Patri Prabhu.
And you know what? I propose, this is an example. I'm always carrying a receipt. To produce the sound by one mouth, you can make only one sound, two sounds. But when with the same energy, if you just simply use the flute, same endeavor, but using many holes, you can produce many tunes. Similarly, devotees, they are like holes. And Krishna was Bhakti Shakti, manipulating, playing with his devotees and producing varieties of rasanas, like that. Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay, so please take prasad.
I guess so, because everybody really wants to like, no,
Here.
can you please tell me what?
You're going to distribute?
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Our very special guest is going to actually distribute this Mahaprasadam personally. So just come up and